A lot of questions are being asked tonight about that anti-Islamic video on YouTube that led to the protests in Egypt and Libya.
Yeah, Muslims are outraged by the film after some of it was shown on Egyptian TV. Protesters stormed the U.S. embassy in Cairo, ripped down the American flag and burned it. As for the Libya attack, U.S. sources telling us that terrorists used the protests as cover for the attack on U.S. Ambassador Chris Stevens and 3 other Americans.
Now, why did this film, Innocence of Muslims, upset Muslims so much? Well, we can't show it to you. It's too outrageous, frankly. But the filmmaker Sam Basile depicts the Islamic prophet Muhammad as a womanizer and a pedophile.
Well, Basile told the Wall Street Journal he's a real estate developer living in California. He says he raised $5 million from 100 Jewish donors to promote the film. The Journal now says Basile is in hiding. Well, let's bring in Ibrahim Hooper. He's the National Communications Director for the Council on American-Islamic Relations. Ibrahim, great to have you with us tonight. Let me ask you this. As you speak to Muslims living here in the U.S., what's the view of this attack in Libya? And as we get more details, the possibility that terrorists use the protests as a cover?
Well, the American Muslim community is obviously outraged at the attacks, at the killings of our diplomats, at the attacks on diplomatic facilities in Libya and Egypt. So that's the main thing. In fact, we held a news conference earlier today with a number of American Muslim leaders condemning the attacks, condemning the killings, and just in general speaking out against this kind of reaction to these inflammatory and intentionally inflammatory kinds of projects.
So, Ibrahim, let me ask you this. You know, movies like this, some would say, they call it satire. They're not uncommon here in the United States. Why did it strike such a chord with people?
I don't know why this particular one went viral, so to speak, but on a daily basis almost, people send me YouTube links, send me videos of people shooting the Quran, burning the Quran, urinating on the Quran, using bacon as bookmarks in Qurans. I mean, we don't distribute these things. The people who produce these things are desperate for publicity, and occasionally they get it, as in these tragic events.
So, Ibrahim, one last question before we let you go. How would you likely Muslims respond when they're faced with these hate-filled words and video?
Well, first of all, we'd like everybody to ignore this, because the thing that the producers of these kinds of things fear most is to be ignored. So you should ignore them. But you should also, everyone, people of all faiths, should work to marginalize the extremists that attack embassies and the extremists that produce these kind of intentionally inflammatory kinds of things. And they should work to build bridges of mutual understanding between faiths, to bridge that gap, that divisiveness that is sought by those who produce these things and those who carry out these attacks.
All right.
Ibrahim Hooper joining us there. We really appreciate your time tonight and your perspective.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, positive way of looking.